Yo, what is up everybody and welcome back to another Madden 25 online game. Today we got the Buffalo Bills and the St. Louis Rams. I got the Rams for this game and I'm going against the Bills. Unfortunately, on a very somber note to start the video, thoughts and prayers to the family of Ralph Wilson Jr., the owner of the Bills, who passed away today at the age of 95. Definitely lived a long life, but unfortunately could not go another day longer. So, definitely tough time for the Bills because Jim Kelly's also got a bad cancer going on, and we try to run the flea flicker there, and, you hope he gets better because it doesn't sound any good, and then Ralph Wilson passing away. A lot of NFL owners passing away. I know you guys say, oh yeah, but they're probably old, but I mean, a lot have been passing away like the past year. There was the Titans owner, Bud Adams, and then like not too long ago, Ford in Detroit, and now, Ralph Wilson. But the main point of this video is not exactly to commentate over Bills and Rams, is to give you guys my free agency thoughts. Free agency 2014. It's been a pretty wild year, and there is definitely one guy who threw his hat in the ring that mixed things up a little bit late, and that was Darrelle Revis. So that's what we're starting off with. We're starting off with the top guy, Darrelle Revis, who ended up on the New England Patriots. The Bucs released him because they just didn't like his salary compared to, the salary space they could have had without him. They didn't think he was worth that much. Which, I mean, I kind of agree with them. It is their fault for signing him. Because, that's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. But the Patriots definitely made out good out of that, getting Revis. They lost to leave, and they replaced him with, pretty much a better player. And, maybe some people want to make the argument as good. Okay, as good, but still, you give Belichick a lockdown guy like Revis, that just takes care of the number one receiver, whatever. Now you got the other 10 guys to worry about. And Revis plays anything like the way he played in the Jets with Rex Ryan down there, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem playing against the Patriots, man. Good luck to, Eric Decker and, Stevie Johnson and all of them. I have to play that poor man Revis twice a year. Stevie Johnson, though, he actually has good games against Revis, but that's a little bit off topic. So, I really like the Revis signing for the Patriots. Moving on, though, to the next one. There's a lot of them. This video is long. Try to cover as much as I can in this about 20-minute stretch. So, we move on to Jarius Byrd, the free safety from the Bills, who you guys will see throughout this video, who did not stay with the Bills. He moved on to, surprisingly, the Saints. And some people didn't expect the Saints to do anything in free agency besides sign some of their own guys, maybe sign some low budget guys, because they were over the cap pretty much. And they somehow, they trade Darren Sproles, they made some moves, and they were able to get Byrd, which is a huge signing for them. Kenny Vaccaro played great last year. You add Jarius Byrd, that's going to be trouble. They definitely have a good pass rush with Cameron Jordan and such in that team. So, and by the way, this just sucked. I got hit. I didn't even get hit, technically. I got hit by my own offensive lineman, so the ball came out wobbly. I was just going to throw a fade in the back of the end zone and try to take my chances. Instead, it ends up being a pick six. So that was actually, it wasn't a pick six, but it ends up being 6 on the next play. So it was pretty much a pick six, and that just sucked because it definitely was not supposed to happen. But yeah, Jarius Byrd, I mean, you might say, what the hell are the Saints doing blowing their cap space? But I think it's a really good move for them. They need to get some sort of splash to catch up to the Seahawks and the 49ers, and that's definitely the kind of move that'll help them out. Look at Brandon Quicker, whoever this guy is, jumping over. Brian Quick, actually, I believe his first name is. All I know is he's probably going to be in top 10 plays the week after that. That was sweet as we retake the lead. So that was cool. One play of offense, and down you go. Now, one move that I didn't like was Michael Johnson to the Bucs. I think that's just an overpay. That's just one guy from a great Bengals defense. I know, you look at the stat sheet, and there's some things that he does that doesn't come up on the stat sheet exactly, like pass deflections and stuff like that. But I don't know, $42 million I think he got. That's just, I don't know. It just seems like one of those oversigns that the Bills keep on making. They oversigned Golston, they oversigned Revis and had to release him. I don't know. I just never liked anything the Bucs do in free agency, apparently. Michael Bennett stayed with the Saints. I'm using an online site, by the way. I'm just looking up and down the list of who went where. Michael Bennett stayed on the Saints. That's pretty big. This isn't my list. This is someone else's list I just found online. So this isn't my top players. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. As right before the end of the second quarter, he screws up big time here. He runs hurry up rather than try to take a chance at the field goal. And you're not getting hurry up in 7 seconds. So he throws away an easy chance at 3 points by doing that. So, that's something that I do. I'm glad someone else screwed up the clock and it's not me for once, But Yeah, Bennett signing with the Saints or the Seahawks was a big move for them to keep him. He had a great year for them, and he actually signed for below the market price. So the Seahawks somehow ended up winning out on that. The rich get richer, right? Now T.J. Ward leaving the Browns to go to the Broncos. It's a cool move. It's a cool move. I mean, they didn't overpay for him. They didn't underpay for him, in my opinion. I think they got, the guy for the right price. And it's someone they needed in a secondary that was just pretty soft. The strong safety spot's been a little bit of a weakness. They had, Ian Nacho running through there who kept, getting injured, every single game. You had Raheem Moore who was playing okay, but he definitely didn't have anybody like a Cam Chancellor that you fear over the middle of the field on that defense. And bringing that kind of presence in T.J. Ward was pretty big. So, that was a move that I definitely liked from the Broncos. Now, one move that we'll just stay with the Broncos for a little bit because they made quite a few moves. DeMarcus Ware, I think that's a little bit of an overpay. By the way, look at this. I don't know if this was strategy or what. I think he fake hiked the ball, and since he did that, I was jamming my freaking something to try to get a rush in there, try to time the snap, and I don't know if I actually went off sides or it was just the fake hike that forced my player to go off sides. But either way, I don't know if that's strategy or what, but it's a good one nonetheless. I don't know if I didn't go off sides, he would have taken the penalty or what, but it worked out in his favor, and that was definitely a pivotal point in the game because he got a first down and an extra 5 yards to go with it, and he ends up getting the touchdown there to take the lead in the fourth quarter. We'll stick with this game for a little bit here because things do get interesting for a few minutes here as we have Sam Bradford just giving it to Zach Stacy. That's what I've been doing all game long, handing the ball to Zach Stacy again, but we can't get anything to go there. Now we bring Bradford out in third and fourth to actually pass the ball, and I'm looking at B, but on the run, I get popped before I can let it go on 4th and 4. I'm going to go for it. My rule in the fourth quarter is to always go for it because I don't want my opponent to milk the rest of the clock out. I don't have that kind of faith in my defense. I was looking at B, but B went out of bounds, and I saw RB was wide open, but Sam Bradford just spin a Rooney instead of, holding his ground. Was that my fault? I don't know. I probably was not, I don't know. I tried to stand still, but maybe I screwed that up. I don't know, but just putting yourself in that 4th and 4 is definitely not the position you want to be in. And he ends up pretty much killing the clock from here now. Not to spoil anything, but I guess that's not my main priority. DeMarcus Ware, that was a cool signing. But I think it was a little bit of an overpay. But at the same time, the Broncos are in a win-now mode. They'll pay for it on the third year of that contract, or they might just end up releasing him. But right now, in a win-now situation, it's a cool signing by them. It's a cool signing, not much else. Now, one guy that, actually, we'll stay with the Broncos one more time, because we got Talib. Talib is in the next guy on this list I'm looking at, but Talib, that was probably one of my least favorite signings. Not that Talib is a bad player, but the contract they gave him is blasphemous, man. I think it's 6 years to 59, I think were the exact terms on that. Or 5 years to 59. I don't know what it was, but I absolutely hated it. I don't know. He's just not worth that much money, You had DRC, who was a pretty good corner last year, and the defense still sucked. It isn't really that you guys need to pay that much money for a cornerback to help you guys, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I just don't think they needed Talib for the price they got him for. They could have, tried to sign someone cheaper. Someone who went cheaper was Altron Werner. He got a pretty solid deal. In the Bucks' eyes, he got a pretty solid deal. They got him for, I think, 4 years and $28 million or something like that. It was not exactly what you expected him to get after having a Pro Bowl season last season, but, that's one move that I actually liked from the Bucks, that they got, that dude, Werner. I can't say too much. I haven't watched him play too much, but, on paper, it looks like a really good signing, you ask me. And there, I don't know how the hell he got that touchdown. God only knows. Some guys that, what's this dude? Eugene Monroe. He re-signed with the Baltimore Ravens. That's okay. I'm not sure how well he played. I don't study offensive linemen, but, I don't know. For some reason, I don't like that move that much for the Ravens. Jared Valdir, he left. I don't even know where. I'm not an expert on offensive linemen, so don't ask me too much about that. Vontae Davis staying with the Colts was a pretty big move because Davis, when he's on it, he could play big games. He could lock down number one receivers. He could play some tough bump and run man coverage and stuff like that. So the Colts keeping him as long as he can stay healthy and stuff like that, and not have lapses that he kind of had last year. That's a big signing for them. So, he's young. He's definitely got age on his side, so it's a cool signing for them. Lamar Houston going to the Bears, it was good for them because they got rid of Peppers and they got someone younger. They didn't really, save any dollars on it, but at the same time, you swap Peppers out and you get someone younger and someone who might actually be better than Peppers at this point of Peppers' career and this point of Lamar Houston's career. So for the Bears, I think it was a good strategical signing. They didn't gain too much from it, but it was a good strategical signing for them. And DRC is the next one on this list. DRC going to the Giants. A lot of people are like, yo, why aren't you happy about it? Because I was on Twitter, I was like, I don't really like it too much. You guys know I'm a Giants fan, by the way. Just putting it out there. As we run a flea flicker here and toss it at the Gronkowski. That should have been intercepted there. I was just taking a chance. Who cares? But yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the DRC signing too much. I don't think he's worth that much money. In 5 years, he's going to be 34 years old. He's a guy that relies a lot on his speed as Tom Brady throws a dot into the end zone to Edelman there. He's a guy who relies a lot on his speed. He's a guy who, kind of lacks focus sometimes. I'm not gonna bring up the whole retirement thing, but just those kind of things. I don't know. I'm just not feeling DRC. I hope I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong and DRC is better than Darrelle Revis. But in hindsight, I don't really like the signing too much. And so Brandon Albert went to the Dolphins. Like I said, I'm not an expert on that stuff. Eric Decker going to the Jets. That's an interesting move. I like the move for the Jets, though. I don't think they overpaid for him too much. Now, Decker's, not as good as Demaryius Thomas, who was the number one guy in Denver, but he's still a pretty good receiver. He could definitely put up numbers, and he's way better than anything Geno had to throw to last year. Or, in this case, Mike Vick might be throwing to, which I'll get to in a sec. Now, I don't know. I like the move for the Jets. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I do like the move for them. And I also like, as we get the interception here with McCourty, I've been dropping a few, but this time we do catch it with McCourty. I like the Mike Vick signing. That's something that will help Geno, because honestly, you ask me as we throw the flea flicker to Gronk, and Gronk toasts the Seahawks and gets a touchdown here. I don't think Geno should have been starting on day one. Even Mark Sanchez might have been good to start on day one. Geno wasn't really. He could have definitely used a few games, if not the whole year, on the bench watching a veteran get it done. Now, even though it's year 2, you're like, what? Well, why the hell should Geno sit now? He already got thrown into the fire. It's still good to bring Vic in for competition's sake. You don't want to have Geno go against nobody and say, oh yeah, that's cool. You beat Phil Simms' son. You're a beast. It's cool to bring in Vic, and if Vic gets injured 3 games in, who cares? You're not exactly paying him to be the franchise quarterback. It's 1 year, $5 million. If he could at least, mentor Geno, that's cool, because the whole Mike Vick and Nick Foles situation actually worked out pretty well for the Eagles last year. So you're like, cool. It's good to take a risk there, as we take a risk and try to jump the screen, but we don't get rewarded. Now, one guy my Giants lost was Linval Joseph. Linval Joseph helped the Giants a lot in the run game. A lot of people won't notice too much because the Giants weren't too good last year, but the Giants actually had a pretty damn good run defense. And Linval Joseph, he was a fat guy in the middle there that plugged things up. The Vikings, they got a good guy. Didn't they let go of Kevin Williams? And the Williams wall is gone. And actually Jared Allen's gone too. But, they got Linval Joseph. That's definitely a good young replacement for Kevin Williams and just the Williams wall in general, because the dude's only 25 years old and he's a pretty damn good player. I think that's a pretty sneaky good signing for the Vikings to help their defense out. A defense that was pretty putrid last season. I mean, their front four was okay, and the secondary is kind of the main problem, but still, though, you could have used that Linval Joseph presence, especially a young guy. Kevin Williams didn't have that kind of motor. Another guy my Giants, speaking of the Giants one more time, one of the guys my Giants got was Jeff Schwartz, which I'm cool with, man. I'm glad we got offensive line help. I'm still worried that our offensive line is complete ass. I still think we need to do more work in the draft and stuff like that, but Jeff Schwartz, cool signing, man. I'm not an offensive line expert, but the more offensive linemen for the Giants, the better, because we had one of the worst last year. Now, Jason Hatcher is maybe the least liked signing I've seen so far in the offseason. He's, 32 years old, I think, and the Redskins overpaid for this dude, 3 years, $30 million. Some really bad contract. It was 4 years and $32 million, to be exact. Either way, it's a classic Redskins signing. The last 2 years, they didn't exactly have the cap space to be big free agent spenders, so they didn't do too much stupid things. But now they got the money back in. they're back to doing stupid stuff. I don't even understand the logic in signing Hatcher for that much. He had a really good year in a really bad Cowboys D-line, but, I mean, that's just a career year. You can't pay him that much based on that one career year at his age. I don't know. It's a classic Redskins signing. We'll just leave it at that. Now, Hakeem Nicks going to the Colts, it's a good low-risk, low-reward move. Nicks signed for a very, cheap contract, and we throw a bad pick 6 here. I forced the pass there. Sherman picks it off, and he takes it for 6 there. Now, obviously, I could have been more conservative. I didn't really feel like I was in danger of losing the game, so I took the chance. Still a really bad chance, but, it's all good, though. We get the onside kick. Now, Hakeem Nicks, back to him. I mean, he kind of sucked in the Giants last year. Watching Giants games myself, he definitely did not really do much for us. I hope he could be a good player again, because he definitely did help the Giants a lot under Super Bowl run as we lose a fumble, and all of a sudden, look at that, we're in danger of losing. But yeah, Hakeem Nicks was big on the Giants squad. He had some big touchdowns against the Packers and the Falcons and stuff like that in the playoff run. So if he can provide anything like that for the Colts, along with T.Y. Hilton and Reggie Wayne, that's a pretty damn good 1-2-3 trio. What's his name? Andrew Luck didn't exactly have the best receivers to throw it to once Reggie Wayne went down. So you get Hakeem Nicks and he actually balls, that's a good look for them. They still might need a receiver in the draft, but, good look for them. Now back to the Giants, because I'm just a Giants fan. No, these Giants relations keep on popping up. The Giants are actually pretty busy in free agency. They got Walter Thurman, a move that I really, really like because the contract is just a 1 year, like $4 million. I think it's $3.5 million contract. Really cheap contract. I wish I could have signed him for like 2 years at least, because I think he's got potential to be pretty damn good, especially for what he's about to be, which is a nickel cornerback for the Giants. But still, it's a really good signing. I like the way our Giants secondary is looking. You got Antrell Roll, you got DRC, Prince Amukamara, and then Walter Thurman in the slot. I would say good luck throwing the ball, Even though we lost a few pass rushers like Justin Tuck, who I really, really wish the Giants would have kept just for leadership purposes. It is what it is. They know more than I do, so hopefully they got rid of him for a good reason. But I don't know. I really like the Walter Thurman move. Now, one move that I wasn't really too fond of was the Dante Whitner signing by the Browns. Now, obviously, a team like the Browns has to overpay a little bit more than a team like the Seahawks might to attract free agents. So, you see Whitner getting shelled a few extra million just so the Browns can say, hey, here's a reason to actually join the Browns. But still, I don't know. I would have rather than try to push to keep TJ Ward, especially given the contract he got on the Broncos, because TJ Ward's probably as good of a player, and he's younger. I don't know. I think Dante Whitner, he got a lot of help from the 49ers defense. He's a big hitter, but at the same time, he's just, I don't know. I just don't really like paying him too much money. I would have rather, that was one of their big free agent signings in like the first 2 days. I would have rather, wait a few days, not be that team that overpaid for Dante Whitner, you know what I mean? And speaking of overpaying, one guy I think I got overpaid was Golden Tate. I didn't really like that move, Golden Tate being overpaid by the Lions. I just don't think that you can pay 2 wide receivers that much money and be good. The Lions have so much cap space directed to a few players, Matt Stafford, Ndamukong Suh, and Calvin Johnson. They have so much cap space plugged into those 3 players, and then you plug in $7 million more per year, or actually it's like $5. I think it's $6 million actually more per year to Golden Tate. I don't know. Golden Tate's a good receiver. He's a pretty good number 2 receiver, but at the price tag he's being paid to be a number 2 receiver, it's only $4 million less than Eric Decker. I don't know. I don't really like it too much. So, that's my thoughts, man, because we're out of time here. And as you guys can hear, this dude literally ejected the disc in the middle of the game. He didn't even dashboard. This dude just was like, fuck it. Took Madden out of the freaking Xbox. And it's like, okay. That's how you really feel. So that does it for this video. Hope you guys leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Madden 25 online games. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on the other free agents that I like, there's definitely some guys that didn't go over because I just love blabbing on, I guess. I didn't talk about some guys like Cromartie or Darryl Smith and stuff like that, or Raji, but if you guys want to hear the rest of that, let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time, and leave your feedback in the comments. If you guys think I'm a jackass for some of my thoughts, which you probably do, leave your comments on that. Or you guys, just want to talk to me. It's cool. I always love talking back to you guys, especially on topics like this. So, yeah, one more time. Subscribe for more. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next